you so much, Helen. I'm really happy to be here and happy to welcome everybody tonight. I was going to walk us through a little bit of breathing exercises tonight and a mindfulness exercise in terms of neck, jaw, and shoulder relaxation. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my inspiration for mindfulness practice. Some of the other teachers and people who I've seen present here at Miles for Migraine integrate people like the wonderful Jen Malloy, who's the art therapist. She has her partner and spouse who's a musician, sometimes coming and playing. And some of my inspiration for mindfulness and for breathing and exercises and relaxation is also family. So my mother-in-law is a psychologist, and she's also a meditation teacher and has practiced and taught for over 50 years. And she's had a great influence on me and has taught me a lot. And some of those kind of exercises that she does, I'm going to share with you all tonight. But I also wanted to share some of her artwork that I have in my home that inspires my practice and may inspire all of you, but I think sort of embody this mindfulness, and she incorporates this into her artwork. So I'm going to go ahead before we start and just share a little bit of this with you. Let's see, I'll go like this, and I will go ahead and play the slideshow here. So what she does is, it's called bottle art, and I think everyone can see this here where it says, "My next breath is my only destiny, and I will love it when it comes." So a lot of her work and her teaching involves being in the moment and being in the now. And when you take in a breath, that's all you need to think about. And then you just let that moment go. And can we be present in the next moment when that moment comes? A lot of what we do in our kind of daily life and existence, there's all this other noise and things going on around us. And these reminders and kind of bringing ourselves back just into the present moment can help when there's just sort of this spinning and thinking about everything either that we have to do or what might come next or what came before. At the same time, though, she's a realist, and she also knows that there's suffering and bad things that happen to us and happen to people. And sometimes just being in the moment is not fun, and it's really hard. And so I like that she incorporates this into her work too, and to acknowledge and be realistic about the situation. Sometimes things are really challenging. Multiple slides. So let's see. Thank you. Well, let's see if we can go back here. But thank you. Helen's telling me I'm seeing multiple slides. How about now? Is this a little bit better? Can you guys see this one? Yes. Okay. So this was the first one. My next breath is my only destiny, and I will love it when it comes. This one, I'm in this moment and it sucks. So that certainly happens to all of us sometimes. And then this one is about thinking about being here now. So she, Dr. Ehrlich studied with Ram Dass, and he's a famous meditation teacher, Buddhist teacher, and thinking about just being in the present and being where you are now. And is there a way to just be there and not run away? Because it's something that we oftentimes do or want to do. And then that sort of, to be able to breathe, and something the mindfulness practice is, let's see, along the bottom screen icon. Can you all see this? If I see a thumbs up from some of you, that would be great. A glimpse of the almost ungraspable now. I think when one develops a mindfulness practice and you're breathing and you're able to be in the moment, to actually be where you are in that present moment is quite a gift. And I'll stop sharing because I think it's not the best maybe screen share there. So I'll come back to the room here. But I also have one of her bottles here, which is sort of the gift of being able to be in the moment and be in the breath with yourself, can you do that all day long and nourish your being in that way and give yourself that attention in that way when you're there in the present moment with yourself? This is all day long. We can nourish our being. So I just want to make sure everyone's in a comfortable position and just relaxed wherever you are. And you can feel free to either open your eyes and kind of keep them gently open, or if you want, you can go ahead and close your eyes. And we're just going to take 10 breaths, so normal breaths in and out. You don't have to think about it, just let them come in and let them go out, whatever pace feels right for you, just to get settled into where you are. So I'll just give everyone time to take their 10 breaths in and out for themselves. And when you're ready, we're just going to take some slow breaths in, and we're going to hold at the top. So we're going to count to 5 and hold just for a little bit, and then we're going to release the breath for 5. We're going to do that 10 times. So I'll lead the count. If something feels forced to you though, or it feels like it's too much, or if it feels like it's difficult or too much to hold, please breathe what's comfortable for you. I think it's important not to force the breath or sort of force yourself to force the body or get tension around the breath. So we're going to take in one deep breath. This is the first one, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the inhale and hold, and then gently release. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold and release. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another inhalation, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. And then exhalation, 2, 3, 5. And you can do the next 5, count in your head at your own pace, and then we'll rejoin each other after those next 5 breaths. And as you're breathing and just feeling the breath come in and out, can you learn to feel just the changes in sensation coming in, things that are going on in your body or maybe in your environment, and you can just note those things that are happening and then come back again. If something's distracting or there's something going on, sometimes we're not so used to just observing from outside, and there can be sort of this little struggle that goes on. But if you can sort of let yourself just let that go and notice things, notice sensations, notice things that happen, and then go back to the breathing. And you can breathe normally. If you're done with the inhales and exhales and holding pattern, you can just breathe normally. And sometimes when you listen to sounds and changes in sensation, you might find yourself letting go. And this is something that's takes a little bit of practice, and some of you may be regular practitioners of just mindfulness or stillness or meditation, but the key thing is practicing is helpful to do this ahead of time, especially if you're thinking about maybe using it in a time that's more challenging. So it's good to take some time to think about breathing mindfully and being in that sensation and noticing the sensations and letting them go, so that when you really need to step outside and just be in that moment and let the sensations go on around you, that you have a little practice in doing that. And also that you experience this and kind of give yourself some compassion and self-curiosity, self-love while you're doing this, because if you're not kind to yourself or allowing yourself just to sort of be and being gentle with yourself, it's very hard to sort of be gentle and present for others. So if you can start with being gentle and present with yourself and kind to yourself, and give yourself the space just to be where you are, that can be helpful for you and everyone else around you too. So sometimes practicing these changing sensations or feeling all these different sensations can be helpful in breathing. Maybe also, some people it's very hard to sit still. But if you can practice noticing sensations, maybe while you're doing something, you can also think about doing something like this while you're washing the dishes, for example, or brushing your teeth, or if it's in the middle of the night and you can't sleep, to feel and just count for 10 breaths as the breaths change, as they come in and as they go out. And by this way, you're sort of better prepared to feel all changes and all sensations the more you practice with this. And so the next work or practice that we're going to do is thinking about letting go and tensions that sometimes we hold either in our head or our neck and jaw, and oftentimes shoulder tightness. And I do want to say, if you do have like a history of neck injury or shoulder injury that you're concerned about, or that you have a history of, I want you to be mindful and maybe not do exercises if it involves, say, we're going to be rotating the neck. Probably a good idea to avoid that if you have a history of a neck injury, or if there's something that you know that you should avoid doing or that causes you pain or discomfort or problems. But the work of doing this, and these are also things like breathing exercises that you can do many times, and you could do it while you're sitting in the car, driving somewhere while you're watching TV or doing something at the computer. You could also take a break from what you're doing and just do these exercises more, mindfully, just focusing on the exercises. But these are also things you can do while you're doing other things. But it's really about teaching the muscles and teaching everything to let go. And the first movement is really simple. It's just moving your shoulders up, breathing in, moving your shoulders up, and then very slowly releasing them. So can you feel the difference between, obviously there's a huge difference between bringing those shoulders up and tightening them and then feeling that release. And the goal is, can we practice those sensations? Because I think a lot of us walk around with a lot of shoulder tension, and the shoulder tension oftentimes in the neck, can be associated, so can sometimes be a trigger for things because the nerves run down the head and into, they're into our spine and neck. And so can we release that tension there and cause a little relaxation, so that can help relax the rest of the head and the muscles around our face and head. So let's try that again. If we just shrug our shoulders up, and then without really, just so gently, very, very, very slowly releasing them, one little muscle movement at a time. And make sure you're breathing while you're doing this too. But a slow, just gentle, gentle, gentle release until your shoulders are completely relaxed. And can you notice the feeling now of having this kind of complete relaxation in your shoulders and your neck? And then one more time, just lift the shoulders up. Nice deep breath. And then as you breathe out, you can just gently, gently let them go. And you don't need to kind of push it. You can just, with ease, let the shoulders go. And notice how it feels just to have them released and relaxed. And every time sometimes is a little bit different. The tightness might be a little different. The relaxation might be a little different. And sort of notice, is there anywhere in particular that there's holding or tension? And is there a way to allow yourself to have a release there? And sometimes people find that it's most helpful if you really want to achieve sort of just total body relaxation, like maybe there's some other parts of your body that are causing tension in the shoulders, and even just sitting up requires some muscle tension from your body to sit up. And sometimes lying down, if you feel comfortable, you have a yoga mat or some comfortable position where you're supported but comfortable and a little bit of support for your head. Is that a space that could be available for you to just lay there and let your shoulders release? a lot of tension that we also feel can come in the jaw, and either, clenching the jaw or kind of clenching our teeth. And can we think about now feeling the jaw and feeling the position? And sometimes you could even put your hands up. This is the joint here, the temporomandibular joint. You can place your hands there. And I don't want you to feel it too tightly or press too tightly, but just so you know where we're feeling here. And can you feel that tightness there? Is there tightness in your jaw? Can you press your chin up here and hold it in place very gently? And sometimes swallowing and letting your tongue either relax, or sometimes letting your tongue gently touch the roof of your mouth while you swallow can let things sort of relax. And then can you let that tension in the jaw go? And you don't necessarily have to drop the jaw open, but can you feel it loosen? And can you feel the tension and let the jaw go a little bit slack? And you don't have to hold either way, sort of tight or all the way open. Just let it go. And can you feel, is there some sort of freedom or release, or maybe even a sensation of sort of openness when you let the jaw just relax? And then again, not to totally tighten so hard that we're really clenching, but you can make the muscles active there. Feel that joint, press the chin up, and then let your hands go gently and feel the jaw relax. You can swallow, do what feels right. Take in a deep breath and feel what it feels like if you can let the jaw relax and go. And we're going to test one more time, just gently tightening the muscles around the jaw. And feeling it kind of holding, and we do a lot of work here talking, especially with all these video calls. And then can we just gently let it go and relax the jaw. Relax the muscles around the jaw and the face. You can swallow and just feel what it's like to just let the jaw relax completely. And then I'm going to just do gentle neck exercise. So this is just gently feeling the muscles in your neck when you turn your head and look over your shoulder. So we're going to go to the right, and then we're going to go to the left, but we want to do it really slowly. So all we're doing is just loosening the neck up a little bit. And again, if you have cervical spine issues, or that you have an injury or something like that, this might not be the exercise for you, and you can certainly concentrate on breathing while we're doing this. Or if you have sort of limited range of motion, don't push it. Just go to where your limits are and you feel like you're comfortable turning. And can we relax the neck by doing this exercise? So we're going to go ahead and very, very slowly let your head turn to the right and look over your shoulder. So look over your right shoulder. Make sure you're breathing normally. And you don't have to strain or push it. So the goal is it's not necessarily a deep sort of twist or yoga twist like that. It's really just to be gentle and see when we now release the head back and look forward again. Does that make any change in the muscles around the neck? And can you feel those muscles now just releasing and loosening up a little bit? We don't want to seek a lot of control. We want to work on just being with the movement and then letting it go. So we're going to go ahead and turn towards the left side now. Just as far as it's comfortable for you and without strain. And as you're looking over at the left shoulder, take in some deep breaths and let them go. And when you're ready, just gently come forward again and notice if you have been able to get a little bit more relaxation there, relaxation in your neck muscles. We're going to go to the right again and see how that feels. Is it easier to turn your head to the right? Are things a little bit more relaxed? And again, don't push it too much. Don't push it at all, really, if you can help it. And then on an out breath, gently bring your head back to center. And again, really slowly and gently, especially if you have any issues with dizziness, you can experiment with, is this something that's exacerbating things? If your eyes are open versus closed, do what feels right. And I certainly don't want you to do something that exacerbates any sort of dizziness or makes you feel not well. So then you can go ahead and go to the left side now again. Take a deep breath there and feel how that feels in your neck. And there's a little tension that goes on because you're using the muscles to turn. And then when you take a deep breath in and then you sort of gently let go and you come back to center, are things able to sort of relax and let go in the neck muscles there? And then again, we're going to go ahead and turn to the right. And take a deep breath and gently bring it back to the front. There might be some noises in the background and you can just notice them and let them go. And then once more to the left. Is it a little easier now to turn to the left, or are you feeling more tension maybe? You can just notice that and sort of say, okay, this is what's happening. And then go ahead and bring it back to center. And kind of think to yourself, are there changes? Can you feel some relaxation in your neck or in your jaw, in your face, in your shoulders? And in this way, you could use these types of exercises of tensing up muscles, and this could be, this can be done all over the body, where especially if you're in a lying position, tensing up certain muscle groups, tensing them but gently, not forcing it too much, And then opening those muscles, or just sort of relaxing, letting them go. And then tensing up again. And letting them go. And is this something that might it be something, things that you could practice in a loving way to yourself? Maybe when things are sort of, if you're in a pre-migrainous or state, or when things are, you feel like, oh, things are starting to ramp up. Is this something that might be helpful, or that you could incorporate if you're gonna, oftentimes people might be in a place where they're already in a dark room or a space where they can sort of be in that moment and be with yourself, just noticing the changes of sensations, and then also breathing or doing gentle muscle exercises and releasing while these sensations, other sensations, are going on. Is there a way to be present with yourself and for yourself at that time? Sometimes that can help sort of the fear and sometimes anxiety, this tightness that can come when we are anticipating pain or anticipating what will happen next. Can we release some tightness around the nerves in the head or in the face and the jaw at that time? And you can see if that's helpful for you, and it might take some practice, but it may be a benefit. And I think it's also learning about, what's right for you in order to do that, to trust that there is a place inside of you where your body will know sort of where it wants to go or needs to go at that time. But it does take a little bit of practice just to develop these present either practices of tightening and releasing, which you could also do, or while you're gently, a practice while you're either out walking, while you're washing dishes, while you're watching TV, or a practice where you're just sitting or laying down with yourself and making time for the practice in that way. And I'm just gonna have everyone take 3 more deep breaths in and out. And again, you could have your eyes closed or open. So 1 deep breath in and let it out. And a deep breath in. And out. And the last one in. And out. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and come back to the group here with us.
I hate to even stop that session. Thank you, Annika. What a What a wonderful, relaxing, restorative session of guidance through some valuable practical movement. I hope each of you feel the same way. It's almost hard to almost bring yourself back out of that state. And hopefully some of you can end your evening this way. It was just a very lovely session. I want to thank all of you for being with us. I hope you have some takeaways of methods to incorporate this mindfulness into your daily existence. That's what we're hoping to provide for you. Just a little, and I hate to even bring up the fact that we're going to send you a 2-question survey. We would love to get your feedback so that we can make adjustments to our series, what you thought of value of the session. We're so grateful to our sponsors, Amgen and Novartis. Without their generosity, this series would not be possible without them. And of course, thank you, Annika, for that lovely guidance of meditation. And we hope to see you back next Tuesday. We will have Tai Chi, and next Thursday, Annika will be back. So join us again for another session. It's a lovely way to end our day.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Nice to see you.
So sorry.